Hello, welcome everybody. We will talk about a special strategy which actually everybody can use, especially the guys who like to fly premium classes. And premium tickets can be very expensive sometimes. And we're going to share one example which is running right now live and what you can very effectively use to buy points and then use those points to book your reward tickets. So though technically it's not the pure reward that you will get when you collect those points on your flying or on your credit card spend, but there's another strategy to get premium tickets, business class tickets on the cheaper side.
Yep.
And right now we have a promotion run by Virgin Atlantic. So this is a detailed discussion around that.
Okay, so guys, why we are doing this? Because mainly the promotion has come from Virgin Atlantic, which is where we thought that it will be a good discussion for all our paid members. And we have put in some slides where we will discuss this program in detail.
So guys, as I was saying, we'll talk about Virgin Atlantic because they are running a promotion right now. You can get up to 70% bonus points if you purchase these points. Now, normally Virgin Atlantic is a very rare currency, especially in the Indian market. Normally, American Express is one of the partners you can get a transfer from, transfer partner. Earlier, Citibank used to be there, but now Citibank is taken over by Axis and the partner has not transferred. So basically the idea is you don't have any miles, so therefore you can't fly. That's a big challenge. And one of the ways that you can actually bypass this is by buying the miles. So buying miles can work in both ways. Normally, if you want to top up your miles, you can top up your miles, and I think that is a very good way. Sometimes you don't have enough miles, you have some points, but you can top up. So you can do that. But the other way is you don't have any miles or you have very little miles at all. And you see that there's a good value in certain tickets which you can get versus a revenue ticket, and you want to fly that zone or that route. Therefore, what you can do is simply go ahead and buy your miles. This will not work in all scenarios in all cases. However, when there are bonus promotions like the one which is being run for Virgin Atlantic right now, or if you find any sweet spot, that is something where you can definitely use this. And mostly when we talk about these kind of programs, the promotions are where you really get the value. So it's not normally that these would be priced very attractively, but it's the promotion time when you can actually buy the promo points and then use it maybe that season or next season. So as I said, Virgin Atlantic is running a show right now. So they have this promotion which is running till end of March 31st, and you can see that they are creating a bonus by tier of purchase. So up to 5,000, you don't get any bonus, but beyond 5,000 points, if you buy up to 24,000, you get 20%. Up to 69,000, you get 60%. And finally, if you buy up to 125k to 300k points, you get almost 70% bonus.
And I'll
And what
tell
is
you one thing about this. It is not a laddered one. It's not that if you buy 100K, you will get first for 20% or 60% and later on. The
all
moment you
together?
buy all together, basically once you buy, like for example, 100K, you will get 60% bonus. If you buy 200K, directly you will get 70% bonus. So that's the best part about this bonus strategy.
So if you actually
Yeah.
buy 125, so you'll get 70% of 120. And just two cappings which are there. So I think the overall capping of 300,000 points that you can get into your account in a year. And the other challenge is that your balance should not be equal to zero. So like my balance is zero, but therefore I cannot buy at that point of time. But let us say, and I'll tell you what is the strategy for that as well. The most important thing is that there is a small fee which you have to pay, which is a transaction fee of 15 pounds that you'll have to pay for the transaction, as well as then you have the points charges for the every 1,000 points. The good thing here is that since it's a 70% promotion, you can get at the current price of pound, you can get somewhere between 1.06 to 1.08 depending on the currency. We are also going to talk about which cars you should use for this
Yeah.
strategy. But I think the biggest thing that you need to actually see is what is the use case and does it really make the value of the purchase that you are doing. So
I just did some mental calculation on the what it comes in INR terms per point value. So guys, it will come around 1.081 rupee 8 paisa that per point value on 70% bonus, and this is without forex. So depending on what kind of forex you have, assuming let's take it on a higher side 4.5%, so it will be close to 1 rupee 13 paisa. This is what will be the value of per point. If there are certain redemptions with respect to that, you can use this calculation and make the best use of this bonus.
also, there's a very interesting feature, Rushant, which I didn't know they had. Let's say you buy the point and you realize that you are not going to use it. You have
Yeah.
a 14-day window, but
Yeah.
even if you have not redeemed any points and you say, okay, I don't want to go ahead, you can get this cancelled. The key point here is at what point is the tipping point where you think that this is going to make a value for you. I think that is the most important thing. And
Yeah.
obviously, there are certain routes where you have good value, certain routes that's not there. But we are just going to talk about one particular route, India to UK. But if the audience wants, we can do a much detailed discussion around Virgin Atlantic as a program, and where we'll talk some of the really nice sweet spots that they have, not only in
Yeah.
flights but also in other ways to redeem. So moving on to the next slide, what I've very quickly done here is basically India to UK is a very popular route, and Virgin Atlantic actually flies directly from India to London Heathrow and Gatwick. So basically, if you see certain dates, you can see the entire calendar for a date that you select, and then you see 15 days ahead and 15 days before the date as well. So what I've done is I've put a screenshot here of two particular routes. These are one-way routes. So 23rd of September, London to Delhi, and 1st of October, Delhi to London. So you can select either one way or two way, and then you can select what is the overall mileage. So if you see this, the 1st October one from Delhi to London is actually 10,000 points in premium economy and 20,000 in economy. So we as Indians look for economy tickets, and this is what Virgin Atlantic actually tells you, that sometimes because of demand and supply, premium economy tickets are actually cheaper than the economy tickets. If you see Virgin Atlantic, it happens a lot. Premium there is like premium economy, and upper class is basically somewhere between, let's say, business and first class, though this not typically per se. But you see the tax as well, 88 GBP, which is like 10,000 some hundred rupees. So total this cost is somewhere around 22,000 one way. On the return, again, while yes, the taxes are very high because of London Heathrow, you can actually London also other airports because the departure taxes are lower there. But the points requirement is again very minimal, 11,500, and you can actually use this. These are non-stop flights. So I think this is the fastest you can fly to London in Virgin Atlantic. And you also have an option. There are options with KLM. So that's a one-stop flight in stopping in Amsterdam for a few hours. So when you will search for the ticket, it will show you both the options. And as I said earlier, I have 0 points in the account. Therefore, even with 0 points, I can search. And I will tell you one more thing that has happened. You will see IndiGo logo in between. Now, what they have done is IndiGo has tied up with Virgin Atlantic. And basically, if you are not flying to the big cities like Delhi, Bangalore, Bombay, then you can
Yeah.
actually fly to even smaller cities, or let's say other tier one cities like Calcutta or Chennai or Hyderabad. And you will get you will search for tickets from there as well. So when you go to the website, you can search for Hyderabad or Bhopal or any place in the country where Indigo flies, and you will get the complete itinerary. So you will have a hopping flight with Indigo. And let's say if you're booking premium economy and upper class, you will also get the benefits that you get from the tier. Let's say Excel seats or Excel Go or business seats, whatever they call it, you will get that benefit from Indigo. So that's an additional feature that has very recently happened in the last 3 months. So this is a great thing for even people who are not staying in the cities where Virgin Atlantic flies directly. And I'll take a pause here. Rushant, you have any comment on this?
Yeah, this is a fantastic promotion what Virgin has brought in, and given the kind of redemption options we have, not only for UK. So I was just looking at a couple of more options, guys. You can also explore. One is within US. So if you are intending to use Delta Airlines, for example, in US, and if you have points here, so you can go and use those points. But basically, you check whether Delta flights are available in US. They are sometimes at a lower miles requirement. So one option is that. Second option, what I saw is on Air Nippon Airways. Now you see that a lot of offers are coming from Air Nippon Airways. Basically, a direct flight from Mumbai to Tokyo. You can first check on ANA what is the kind of availability of points requirement, and then you go on Virgin Atlantic. You see what are the points requirement there, and you can just call them and ask them if their details are not there on Virgin Atlantic. You can call the agent, tell that this flight I can see on ANA, but I want to book using Virgin Atlantic points. So you can do all those permutation combination because of Virgin Atlantic partnership. And once you finalize the okay, I want to redeem for my Air Nippon Airways or Delta, then you can think of buying those points at first place, given the promotion is there. Because promotion is giving you fantastic opportunity to buy these points at like 1.13 rupee. And sometimes business class redemption can be very fantastic on those sectors, especially long haul, given the fact that Air Nippon Airways is running a good deal. So apart from London being the sweet spot, but Japan can be explored, within US can be explored. So this is like very good option to have.
Absolutely. And I will tell you one more secret way to buying besides the promo. So let us
Yeah.
say the promo is not running and you want to buy the points. You can simply take the American Express Platinum Charge card, and
Exactly.
the link for that will be given to you in the description later. So you can
Yeah.
take an upgrade, or even if you're taking a fresh card without any referral, you can check. Amex runs a lot of promos time to time, and if you are taking that card, that can also be an alternate way to acquire American Express membership reward points, which you can transfer a 2 is to
Mm,
1 ratio to Virgin Atlantic. So effectively, you will get somewhere around the same value even when the promo is not running. So basically, this is a very effective way. And whatever you get on the Amex Plat charge card, any other benefits, Marriott membership, Hilton membership, or Accor Plus
yeah.
and everything, right? That is all cherry on top. You don't
Yeah.
even need to pay for that. Let me just share one more example, which I wanted to show. Now, okay, before that, so I then tested on Google Flights, how much do these flights actually cost? So if I see this Delhi to London Heathrow, it is costing me 9,000 rupees, which I am going to get for 10,000 plus 10,000, 20,000, 21,000 rupees, right? So basically 3 rupee value kind of a thing that you are getting here. And the
Yeah.
other one is where the flight is actually 103,000, 1.03 lakh one way from London Heathrow to Delhi. You are getting this for somewhere around 40,000, 50,000 rupees. So
Yeah.
if I take 1.1 Virgin Atlantic point as 1 rupee. So you see the kind of value you can get flying the same class, same tickets, and on the same airline, revenue versus points.
Like, I
Hmm.
was just thinking, if someone wants to not pay too much, like while returning, what they can do, they can actually book one way ka flight, like from India to London, because the tax requirement is also low and points requirement is also low. And return, you can use your favorite cards like HSBC
Correct.
Travel One or HSBC Premier, where the reward multiplier is like giving you a good value, and you have an option to select any other flights. So that
Yeah.
can be another way to look into some kind of a redemption strategy,
Or
guys.
you change the airport. I think London Heathrow is having
Yeah.
higher taxes. You
Quick.
can fly from Glasgow or Gatwick or anywhere
Yeah.
else,
Yeah.
and you can get much cheaper tickets. So this is one, and I then checked for an economy as well. So
Yep.
while yeah, economy, this is a two-way flight. So basically Delhi to London, and this is the option that I was talking to you about. So
Yep.
basically, it's a flight from Amsterdam, and you get one change, and the return has a stoppage. So overall, you see that for 32,000 points and I think around 40,000 rupees is the economy ticket,
Yep.
more or less. And you can compare whether this makes sense or not. Sometimes, if you simply change the airport, the taxes will go down. And
Yep.
obviously, this is not the only route that we are talking about. There are multiple other routes also. And as Roshank said, with intra US, continental US flights on Delta are fantastic. Some of the premium cabins are great. And Virgin Atlantic can be one great airline which you can use on both Delta as well as for ANA. And we will definitely do a TTL session on Virgin Atlantic, which will give you much more insight on where to use these points via all these promotions. So coming back to the original point, Rushant, which I was telling you, which cards to use. This is
Yeah.
a pure forex transaction that you're going to do, and you
Yep.
said that there can be as high as a 4% forex charge. So 1.06 to 1.08 becomes 1.1, 1.11 to 1.13
Oh.
per point. So I just compiled a small list, and this is not anyways
Yeah.
exhaustive list. I've
Yep.
actually realized I missed HSBC cards here.
Yep.
So both Travel One is having almost 0.68% forex charges till July end. So that's a promo that they are running. But there are certain cards from top tier cards like Olympus, which I would definitely want to use in case I don't have Magnus Burgundy and I have Olympus. But there's a secret hidden card which is Axis Samsung Infinite. People who have
Yeah.
been holding this card like me, and they have not given up this card even for Vistara Infinite card. I think this is a very good card for forex spends in a non-AEP month. So the good part is that the points are still in the same bucket, and you get 15 points on every 100 rupees on forex. The forex charges are higher, like Atlas, and that's why I've not mentioned Atlas here. But and these are transactions which happen on points.com. These don't happen on airline, so it doesn't make sense to use airline credit card except for power miles. But then you see Magnus Burgundy. If you have Magnus Burgundy, again 2.36%, Infinia again 2.36%, and then you can have a global value back 1% that you can actually add up.
Yeah.
Amex Platinum charge, if you have that card, I think 3x Forex rewards, so 7.5 MR per 100 rupees spent. But yeah, Forex charges would be higher, 4.13%. Power miles are new card from Equity you can use for 9% and 2.36% is the charges with GST. And Scapia, as we have all been talking about, zero on both rewards and both forex. So if it's a good strategy for somebody who's into entry tier who has a lifetime free car, they can use that as well. Shank, any other card that comes to your mind besides HSBC Travel One?
Many cards are coming. Obviously, Premier is also good. Premier is also
Yes.
1% Forex, 1% plus GST. So one can think of like 3% return and 1% as a Forex. DCB will be a good play. You can
Yeah.
get 2.5% milestone benefit again. DCB metal specifically, what I'm talking about. Mayura will be very good because Mayura has a zero Forex. So you end up saving whatever charges on Forex, and same time you get a reward
The
also.
rewards.
So that can be a good. I've done some mathematical calculation. If you plan to take that highest points, basically like 3 lakh points, and on that you get 70% bonus. That's roughly 2 lakh 10,000. So you get total of 5 lakh 10,000. If you plan a redemption for your family and that requirement is there for return flights, this will cost you somewhere around 5.5 lakhs. So any card which has a good milestone benefit also with low forex, like a lot of partner cards on airlines like Indus and Avios is there, or Bob Etihad is there, for
Or
example,
Marriott Bonvoy.
or Marriott Bonvoy is there. So all those can come into picture where you can get points. The only thing is need to plan in advance, like whether you're
Yeah.
able to see those redemptions, because sometimes those redemption can be like tricky to get two or more, specifically when you're traveling with family. Otherwise, I'll take all the cards as a cherry on the cake. I'll not consider this as a part of strategy, because the real strategy is in that you're getting at 1.1314, whatever the value is, and looking at redemption. Baki Magnus mein mil gaya to, well, this is March month also, the close of financial year, one can look at what kind of spends they have on each card, and then they can decide where to spend. And again, Amex Platinum Travel, I think a wonderful card. जिसका
Correct.
7 लाख के पास आसपास आ रहा है, 4 लाख
Ah.
ऑलरेडी हो गया है, then they can have another play after 9th March.
So this is a new
So
strategy which was suggested,
yeah,
right? You have 3.5 lakhs to spend, and if you buy these via Virgin Atlantic, you can actually score that, and you will also get your milestone benefit, which we have not accounted for here. Also, the fact that let us say you have a 0 mile in your account, like me.
eh,
What will you do? You will first do a small transaction from American Express card, and that is where the American Express cards are so valuable. Send those points to Virgin Atlantic.
Atlantic,
100
yeah.
points, 200 points,
Yeah.
whatever. So then it is not zero. Then you can take the full value promotion, and you can actually get your points into your account.
Even if you don't have Amex, guys, what you can do, you can transfer to Marriott, like basically from Access or any other partner to Marriott. And then from Marriott, basically, if you want to
But you need to
have
do
few small transactions. So from Marriott, then you can transfer to Virgin Atlantic. That's the another way. So the cards like Access Magnus, if you have, or HSBC Premier, that can be the route you can follow to have few points in this. Traveled once in a Virgin Atlantic, I think in 2016 or 2017. The service is really good. I can just say that for sure. Back in those days where like all the airlines were focusing on service, and I flew once. My flight was from Bombay to London and from London to New York. So I remember the service was very good. So if someone is looking this journey of like traveling to New York also, they can think of this sector, Bombay to London and London to New York then later.
just like IndiGo's inspiration was Southwest Airlines from the US. I
Yeah.
think Kingfisher Airlines inspiration was from Virgin Atlantic
Yeah.
because Vijay Mallya saw Richard Branson and the flamboyant Richard Branson had. And I think you can definitely expect that there's a fantastic service on this airline,
Service, yeah.
even now in 2026. It's no more the heydays of airlines. And the good part is because they are flying direct.
Guys, this is a good time if you're looking to buy Virgin Atlantic points till 31st March. The promotion is there. If people who are thinking of AEP in the month of March, and we are sitting on 1st March today, so they can plan accordingly if there is some strategy to use Virgin Atlantic points as well. And this can be a very good addition to their spends. Thank you,
Okay.
everyone.
Thank you, guys. Until next time, keep swiping, keep saving.
Keep saving.